Well, doesn't really work if the the meme is backwards, but let's find out if it really is. Certainly don't expect anyone to be popping in here, but it's fun to experiment with anyway. All right, let's see here. How's it look if I... Stupid. Come on, show it to me. I know it looks like I'm just doing nothing here, but actually I am. So, like, where's the link to the actual live stream? That's what I'm looking for here. Here we go. Let's find out what it looks like for everybody else. So on the actual stream, it's not backwards. Okay, well, that's weird. Okay, so let's just assume that it's going to keep working. And start going through these memes here. We'll click on that. All right, well, let's not start with Greta because that'd be ridiculous. Yeah, let's go over here and start with this one. It's kind of weird because on the live stream view of the YouTube platform, everything's reversed horizontally. So I have to look over here. What if I do it this way? That'll work. Okay, so yeah, that's a fun meme. People born before 1990. Is that really the time frame? I kind of feel like it. You could even say people born before like 2002. I think it was much more recent than that. Happened a lot more quickly. I have a lot to say about that someday. But yeah, it. I guess that meme kind of speaks for itself. Let's go with the next one. And if you're just tuning in, if you're tuning in at all, I don't think anyone is. But if you're watching this later, you're just experimenting, checking the audio, checking my setup. Let's check the next one here. Yeah, it's a quote by a forest ranger at Yosemite National Park. Why it is hard to design the perfect garbage bin to keep bears from breaking into it. There's considerable overlap between the intelligence of the smartest bears and the dumbest tourists. Boy, I think this is true for an awful lot of things. There really are a lot of dumb people out there. But as illustrated by Dietrich Bonhoeffer in one of my earlier videos, probably the most recent one. No, you got to go back to, I think, because the other one was abbreviated. Probably you could say that all of us are dumb every now and then, and some of us are brilliant every now and then. So we could probably just sort of work it out to be, give people like a percentage, like they're 60% dumb. And are there people who are 95 to 99% dumb? I'm afraid to say that's probably the case. Where am I? I know you're wondering. Well, I definitely have my moments where I'm pretty dumb. Can't find my glasses, lost my keys, that kind of crap. I don't know. I want to be modest. How about we'll say 30% dumb, and we won't ask my wife the same question. All right, next one. Yes, isn't this the case? Now, what I like about this meme here is so socialism and leftists in general, they they basically gauge the effectiveness of their system based on their intentions. So that's their baseline. That's their frame of reference. And it's the rest of us who are like, well, the results matter. It's not just whether or not you meant well. It's whether or not it actually ended well. So a lot of what I see on the left is sort of a accepting of viewpoints based on how it makes them feel, and it has nothing to do with whether or not it succeeds in what it's supposed to do. So a lot of anti-poverty programs don't help poor people; they just help the people who want to help the poor, or say they want to help, feel better about themselves. So the poor stay poor, and those folks feel better about themselves, and there we go. We just keep going over and over and over again, and we're dealing with people who are really just sort of congratulating themselves for their own benevolence, usually as they're taking other people's money for distribution. But sure, we'll talk about that some other time. I'm really just trying to test. Ah, yes. This meme has been going around with a lot of different variations, and um, I mean, this goes back to the dumb people, right? How can you not realize? How can you not understand just the stupidity of how do I put this? I mean, it's so obvious now. There are so many people who got vaxxed and got COVID and couldn't figure out for themselves that maybe it was a problem with the vaccine somehow. Either it didn't work, it just didn't live up to what it was supposed to do. And instead of evaluating their own choices, they blame the choices of others. I mean, it's really ridiculous. I should talk about this one more some other time, but this is just a test broadcast, right? I like this one. This might be a little hard to read. I don't know what this is from, but I like the message of it. You can pause and read it if you want. So then back to Greta. All right, so I looked this one up because I couldn't really believe that she'd be so silly as to outright say it. But I mean, this is really the message that we're seeing. So Greta didn't say it, but it's what AOC means and all the other folks. It's worth talking about that some more at some time. But I found the original meme here. Now there's got to be something to be said about her support for Russia here, which I'm sure has been forgotten. And never mind the original message here. I think the moral of the story is don't just hold up a piece of paper and take a picture of yourself, because it just invites abuse. You're just asking for trouble. I'm not going to do it. It would be foolish, and you shouldn't do it either. And hopefully Greta has learned her lesson. All right, so that brings me to the end of this test broadcast. If you happen to ever watch it, let me know how the audio was, how the experience was, and I'll try to make improvements as I go. And that's it for now. Let's end this nightmare.